I had something really interesting happen. I basically was drinking, I would say probably 4 times, like within, let's just say, the last 2 weeks. I finally like got an answer on what does it do like when you're on glutathione. So of course we already know free radicals will deplete you of glutathione. This could be a certain type of medicine that you're on. It could be smoking, it could be drinking, it could be being like in a place that has like a lot of smog, or like where the air quality is crap. That will deplete you of glutathione. There are so many different things that can deplete you of glutathione, but I never could measure it completely. Like I only had like my eyes, and so, you know, sometimes I'll notice my skin just looks a little more dull on some days, and sometimes it won't be, but at the same time our eyes can be deceiving. And so I finally got an answer, and this was a couple nights ago. I drank just it was too much. It was too much, okay? Because it was Cinco de Mayo and we were celebrating. And so basically I still took my glutathione that day. Like I didn't stop taking my glutathione because of course I don't know how much of it I'm going to absorb while also taking shots of tequila and other drinks. But at the same time it's just like, well, I'm not gonna miss it. And so I took it at night, just like I do every single night. And the next morning I never got like the urge to like release bile. In fact, none of that seemed to be happening at all. Like I didn't feel like the bloating that you'll feel when your body's making the bile. I didn't even feel any of just, sometimes there will be some gas. It won't be as bad as when you're first getting on glutathione. When you're first getting on glutathione, it's absolutely awful. It's terrible. But I didn't feel any of that at all. And so I'm just like waiting, like, okay, well, it's morning, and like usually my body's just like so ready to get rid of that bile because, you know, you've been holding it in like all night. And sometimes obviously if I can't make it throughout the whole night, then I will just do it in the middle of the night. But anyways, it was just really weird. And so then, you know, early morning turns into just like mid-morning, which turns into afternoon, which turns into late afternoon to evening. I have not released this bile, and I was like, holy crap. Because I drank so much, in which Cinco de Mayo I definitely drank enough to where I definitely was feeling like a headache the next day and everything. And then the day before that I had been drinking too, because it was like pre-Cinco de Mayo. Don't ask why. I don't know what pre-Cinco de Mayo is. It's Cinco de Mayo Eve. But yeah, it was just like, it was way too much, you know, fun, which I think sometimes we might, you know, slip up and want to have too much fun. So that's what happened. And like it directly did not make any bile. It was just like I had taken it and nothing had happened. Like it didn't even matter that I had taken it. And so I thought that was really incredible, because the other times when I was on glutathione and I was drinking a little bit, this was like maybe the end of last year, so into September, October, I was still having times where I was drinking, and I told you guys that I still was kind of drinking on it, and I just wanted to see how quickly my results would be. It wasn't until like December that like I stopped drinking completely, and then all the way up until, you know, yeah. Now these last 2 weeks, sometimes like if I'm out with friends, like I'll just do it. But now of course I'm like, holy crap, this is it just causes, I don't want to say it causes more issues, but like it really does just suck the glutathione out of you. The glutathione didn't even do its work. It didn't even make the bile. I'm feeling that it probably didn't even stimulate my body naturally to make more bile, because that's usually what's happening when you're administering it rectally. It helps your body make even more. Just kind of like when you're doing coffee enemas, the coffee enema, you can add glutathione to it, but you really don't have to. Half the time I don't even add glutathione to it, and it just naturally makes your body make this detoxifying bile. And also you will have just like a surge of glutathione. You'll literally be able to see this in your skin after you've done your coffee enema. The results happen pretty quickly, like you can see that there's a change. But for this, like I wasn't ready. So the other days that when I had drank, you know, some days like it just really wasn't a lot. Like I would have maybe a glass of wine, or maybe 2 glasses of wine, like with dinner or something like that. So it really wasn't enough to be like, ooh, I'm so loopy. But I would say that there definitely was a difference in the amount of bile my body was making when I was drinking, but it wasn't too noticeable. It's only noticeable after the day when nothing happened at all. And then I was like, you know what? I really haven't been making as much bile as I normally do. And I just thought that was just really, really wild, because it's attacking. I don't say it's, yeah, I guess it kind of is. I mean, alcohol in our body, I mean, there are people who can get alcohol poisoning from too much alcohol, but alcohol is just looked at as this, basically this foreign agent that's in your body that basically is doing nothing for you. So all of your glutathione attacks it, trying to get it out, because it's basically adding like no nutrient value to your body whatsoever. And yeah, I was so surprised just to be left with like nothing. It was just like it was as if I would have never even taken the glutathione syringe. And so I can just assume the days where I was still like maybe drinking on weekends when I was on the acetyl glutathione back in September and October of last year and into November, I can only imagine how much I really wasn't absorbing of that, because with the acetyl glutathione, you won't have such a physical reaction to it, like your body like getting all bloated and making the bile and then having to release the bile. It's not going to work like that. I mean, it's going to work on your skin, but you're not going to really know that it's working as soon as you take it, if that makes any sense. Like, you won't see the change. Like with the rectal syringes, like, you know, your body is actively, like, you've actively added something to your body and now it is responding and it's making the bile. And then of course with your skin, after, you know, an hour or even a couple hours, you'll start to see a change as well. With the acetyl, with the dosage I was taking, which was just 600 milligrams, I didn't notice such a physical change. But so, you know, on the days that I was drinking, I can't say, oh, I feel like I didn't get enough glutathione, or, you know, I didn't really notice anything. Another thing is that after not drinking for so long, you also won't have like a tolerance. So waking up hungover is more likely. And also, you know, the supplements that are really helpful for hangovers are glutathione as well as milk thistle. So it's like, I thought that since they have those two ingredients in some of these hangover pills, these hangover cocktails, that it would help you to not feel that. Because technically I still took my glutathione. I still took it. I didn't skip the day. But I think what happens, taking this for long periods of time, I feel like it makes you even more sensitive to the alcohol. Well, of course you're not gonna have a tolerance, so like, you know, naturally that's gonna happen, but it's just like an adverse reaction. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not a good feeling whatsoever. I don't recommend it. Not taking glutathione and drinking might actually be better for you than being on glutathione such a large amount for such a long period of time and then trying to drink again, because yeah, I don't know what happens. It makes you just more sensitive to it.